Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, we're hopping back into Garp's Challenge Revolutionary Army 2, utilizing the new super type lore. So that was the team, those were the supports. Let's dive in. Now, the only real noticeable support on this particular team is actually Sengoku on lore. I really just wanted to showcase the power of the Sengoku lore combo. It's not essential at all. You don't need it. I actually hit greats, like, on the stage. I actually used the lore special. It may hinder, like, how much healing you guys can get back, but it's really not that big of a deal. This super type lore, in my opinion, is, like, easily the best out of the 3 Onigashima trio units. Luffy, like, I guess he comes close, but, like, lore, in my opinion, his classes, Cerebral Slasher, are just amazing. Obviously, DEX probably hinders. I do think he has the best super typing out of the 3. Sorry, not super typing, the best final tap out of the 3, and honestly, he probably, like, in terms of his super typing, I think their super typings are all pretty equal. I think Luffy probably has the best super typing, but it is what it is. Once we hit stage 3, we come up against Hack. Hack does a bunch of damage, that 50% HP cut. It has 3 lackeys around the outside, and they all have a good barrier. They also give us 3 turns of attack down, so this is why using Arena Kawamatsu is really, really cool. I wanted to try and keep this team, it's, like, not free-to-play, like, I would say free-to-play friendly, because, like, 1/3 of it is free-to-play units, but I did want to try and keep this team a little bit more free-to-play friendly. Now, Kawamatsu is easily replaceable with Corazon if you have your Limit Break expanded. You could use something like Baccarat. Anything that can remove attack down and paralysis is going to be fine. Even something like Kaku. I think Kaku removes attack down and paralysis as well. He might not remove paralysis. I know he does blind, and I know for sure he does attack down, but there's definitely that option for you. Pudding as well, absolutely replaceable with something like Corazon as well. You can easily use Limit Break Expanded Corazon. You could also use something like Chop Up. That's another option for you guys as well if you have your Limit Break Expander. But once we move past the Hack stage, we move on to the Ivankov stage. Ivankov and the 2 Kamikami. Now, I'd highly recommend taking 2 turns on the Hack stage just to get your Kawamatsu special back. If you use Baccarat or if you use Corazon with his Limit Break expansion, you can move a little bit quicker, as I think their special goes down to like 10 turns, where Kawamatsu's on a 12-turn cooldown. But like I said, free-to-play unit, it's kind of cool to like utilize these particular characters when they come around, especially utilizing free-to-play Bonnie as well. Free-to-play Bonnie is completely replaceable with anyone that removes defense up and damage reduction. No, defense up and threshold. But the beautiful thing about using free-to-play Bonnie is that it means you actually get access to the super typing of lore. But I don't know if that's truly essential, because I think Kawamatsu rotates orbs as well, so you can probably stall back for his special. But getting lore super typing helps drastically to rotate those block orbs on the final stage. Once we move on to the next stage, though, we come up against Koala and Sabo. They're going to make all color orbs unfavorable for 2 turns, as well as recovery orbs unfavorable. They give us 6 turns of normal attacks only, and they reduce our recovery drastically, which kind of sucks. With the switchability of Shankscrew every single turn, Shankscrew is just such a phenomenal sub under lore, mainly because he's both Cerebral and Slasher. He's Cerebral in both his forms, so you're always getting boosted. You're getting those matching orbs. He's a 3.5 times chainlock for 3 turns, and when you have 2 lores, it just helps with the burst turn on stage 4 and stage 5. Very similar to the Roger team, which lore also works very, very well, good with, just like Luffy and Odin. So, lore, he's just a weapon. Like, he's just an absolute weapon. And like I said, Luffy is still very, very good, but I just think, like, lore's kit, giving matching orbs, still being that 5 times attack booster, and the classes that he can boost, just, he just does things a little bit smoother than what Luffy can do, but definitely what Kid can do. But in saying that, though, like, Kid is still very, very good. Luffy is still very, very good. I just do think lore, it does come out trumps. But on the 3rd turn, we're going to take out Sabo as well. Make sure to kill Koala by the 2nd turn, and make sure you kill Sabo by the 3rd turn. Again, that way we're getting our Kawamatsu specials ready to go. Moving on to the Morley stage now. Morley puts up 2 turns of defense up and 2 turns of threshold, as well as having 5 turns of resilience. This is where we're going to use our lore special. Lore is going to give us a 2.75 times attack boost to Cerebral, Slashes, and Dex units, which obviously this whole team is. We get the 1.5 times extra damage, and then with Sengoku, we can rotate all of our orbs into Lore's orb, which is always going to be Dex, as he gives himself a Dex orb, and he gives an additional chain multiplier buff. Now, as you can see here, like, I'm hitting goods and greats, and I'm still doing plenty of damage to Morley. The amount of attack that you get just from a lore special is just absolutely absurd, because that 1.5 times extra damage goes through full immunity, so you're always getting that no matter what. On the 2nd turn, we're going to use the other lore special. Because we do damage, we can get through with the resilience. We can say goodbye to Morley, and we can just move on. It kind of sucks that we have to use a lore special there, but look, it is what it is. I guess you could, like, I haven't, like, checked the damage, but I guess you could, like, try something with the Dreadnought Saber and then save the lore special. It just sort of depends on your damage output in terms of how much damage you have without an attack boost from your ship. Moving on to the Bella Betty stage, we're going to get 3 turns of paralysis. This is why we needed to stall a little bit on those earlier stages to get Kawamatsu's special back. We can remove the 3 turns of paralysis and get an attack buff with his special. And he also gives the clock buff as well, which is something else that I forgot to note. After 2 turns, he actually becomes an orb booster for the team. He basically just boosts everyone except for Pudding, and because we actually need to take 2 turns on this Bella Betty stage, it works quite nicely as when we move into the next stage against Lindbergh, we're actually going to have that orb boost. However, we do need to make sure that we can get our lore special back, and I do have my lore limit break expanded, so you do need to take that into consideration. If you don't have lore limit break expanded, bring a friend lore that is limit break expanded, and then just use their special first on the what's it called stage, the Morley stage. Very, very important that you do that, otherwise you will just be 1 special short, and you may struggle a little bit. I guess you could probably stall a little bit longer on this Lindbergh stage if you need to. You do need to stall at least 1 turn here to make sure that you do guarantee the limit break expanded lore special back. But once we go to the next stage against Carousel, he's going to despair us anyway, so we're going to go down to about 27,000 HP. We still do have one of the lore super timings as well up our sleeve. So, like, if you need to, you could easily stall, like, another 2 turns here on the Lindbergh stage. That shouldn't be an issue. And if you do that as well, you'll actually get your Kawamatsu special back to rotate those orbs on the final stage as well. And that way you can just you can replace Bonnie with any other character like Vivi Rebecca or something like that can remove... no, not Vivi Rebecca. You need something that can remove Defense Up and Threshold. On the Carousel stage, he's going to give us 2 turns of Gloom, puts up 2 turns of Threshold, and he just rotates our orbs every turn as well as giving us chain coefficient reduction. So once the Despair goes away and the Threshold goes away, I actually had a Meat Orb there, but I didn't want to eat it just to show you guys that this team is fairly safe. But again, you have the super typings of lore, which you could easily just use here. You could probably stall another 2 turns as well. If you wanted to, that way you get the Kawamatsu special back as well, and you can rotate those block orbs. But basically with this particular setup, on the second turn, once the Despair goes away, we're going to switch with Shank Screw, switching into the quick variant, of course, and then use his special for the 3.5 times chain lock. Once we move into the final stage against Sabo Koala, it's pretty straightforward here. We are literally just going to use our lore special. That's basically it. And then we're just going to use the super typing to rotate the orbs. We do have the support of Ace to give us color affinity to our quick units, but we just have so much damage here that the color affinity is probably not even like necessary. Like I said, lore special, just giving that attack boost, the extra damage, is just absolutely monstrous. And like you saw there, I wouldn't even use that other super typing. It was just sort of just sitting there, but you can definitely use it throughout the run to sort of stall a little bit more. But once we've used that lore special, we output a lot of damage. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the final tap to work with this particular team. You definitely could get it to work if you had Corazon instead of Kawamatsu. That way you can just get like a monster heal when you are on the Carousel stage, and that way you'll be able to get the final tap. A big shout out to my boy Ryoiin, part of the community, or a big part of the community. Most of you guys know him. He actually has a level 5 final tap lore, so hopefully in the future I'll be able to showcase that a little bit more, or on my Japan account where I have the same thing. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you if you managed to pull this particular unit, I hope you're enjoying using him. He is an absolute monster. Him and Luffy alike. If you pulled Kids, still be very happy, but if you did manage to pull Lord and you did manage to pull Luffy, like myself, golf claps to you, because they're very, very good units. But if you guys did enjoy today's video, make sure to go in there and belt the like button for me if you're new to the channel too. Hit that big red subscribe button. Guys, wherever you are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later!